You're listening to the Last Man In podcast. Covering Winnipeg hockey and the NHL.
Scheifele dances his way in. Scheifele scores! Mike Wheeler finds the far corner. And the Winnipeg Jets win it in overtime.
Welcome back. Last Minute Podcast, episode 178, and the first podcast of 2018.
Day one-ish.
Yeah, well, we're beating Joe Rogan to the punch here, and we're going to steamroll into 2018 before he can release a podcast video. So
that's our plan. We have the same fans as Joe Rogan.
Exactly. Yeah,
We're going to steal his fan base.
We're going to steal his fan base because all of Joe Rogan's fans are clearly hockey fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe Rogan. Listening to Joe Rogan talk about sports is fantastic. Because he's like, I don't understand it.
Listening to Joe Rogan talk about most things is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Did you ever? He has a show on Netflix where he just every episode he'll pick a topic that's controversial and he'll go hardcore and researching it and go meet with professionals and basically he questions
It's called Joe Rogan Questions.
Yeah,
everything.
It's actually really cool though.
Yeah, it was I watched all the episodes. I was like, this is cool. And I can't wait for him to go after some of the things that are happening right now. Totally off topic.
Yeah.
Because all the JFK files are being released right now, so there's a bunch of things that are getting released, like UFO stuff. Apparently there's FBI pictures and knowledge of Hitler being alive past 1945.
I've read some stuff about that.
He was apparently alive and under FBI surveillance until 1955. Living in Colombia. I can only imagine what he was doing in Colombia. Well, most Nazis after Germany was defeated, they fled to South America.
Because America wouldn't go to South America.
Well, not because of that, but they're
just to get away.
We have to
hide.
Well, not hide, but they had to distance themselves from what that was.
Yeah.
So okay, if we go to South America, it's gonna be it'll be fine.
It's gonna be okay.
So that does go along the lines of kind of what I think a lot of people did. Regardless of that, we're here to talk about hockey. So
we will start our alien conspiracy podcast later.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun podcast. Talk about things and research. Either way, not too much to talk about, but we do have to talk about obviously the Jets totally spanking the Oilers and showing that whatever the Jets are doing, it's clearly working, and whatever the Oilers are doing, it's clearly not working. Don't trade away draft picks for Griffin Reinhart.
Yeah, that's that. And I think they're ready for another number one overall pick.
You know what?
They've had 2 years of no number one overall. They're ready again.
It's true.
They're ready. It's time.
And I feel like they might whiff on not picking Rasmus Dahlin.
Well,
they're not going to be the worst team, though. I mean, Buffalo and the Sabres and the Coyotes are horrendous.
Except one of those teams is in the Winter Classic today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on today.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Edmonton's bad, but they're not
no one's cared.
Edmonton's bad, but they're not that bad.
This is probably one of the worst Winter Classic lead-ups because there's no hype.
Can we have a pause? Where is the Winter Classic?
In New York at the Mets Stadium at Citi Field.
So who's playing in it?
Buffalo, New York.
Like the Rangers?
Rangers, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So you guys aren't pumped to see Andre Pavlik play against Evander Kane in the Winter Classic?
Pavlik's starting goalie?
I don't know.
Dang, you mad, man.
So here's my
Probably
question.
not.
I hope not.
Because obviously we're going to get into it. We're going to talk a little bit World Juniors, and maybe I should wait till then. But there was an outdoor game. It feels like it would have made more sense to do the outdoor game for the World Juniors and then have the Winter Classic there as well.
But it's in different spots, isn't it?
Yeah, one's in New York.
I know. But
one was in Buffalo.
But
it makes more sense, though. It's already there.
Sense.
Yeah.
And they play on the same rink size.
The Buffalo, I'm pretty sure the Sabres are the home team in the Winter Classic.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No.
Okay.
It's in City Field.
I was going to say,
New York Mets.
I was going to say, because you're playing a Winter Classic with Buffalo NHL team, but you're not having it in Buffalo, but you're having a junior game in Buffalo, outdoors.
Yeah. But it's probably because of the fact that juniors are there, that they don't have any home games right now, so they're playing all their games on the road. And then they have the Winter Classic. It's just terrible planning in all of it.
Did you guys see the attendance? I think it was Czechs against Belarus.
What, 45 people?
About that.
Yeah. Well, last night's New Year's Eve game, which I get was Russia-Sweden, because, let's not put Canada on. I know the argument with, the bowl games. I still wanted to watch junior hockey on New Year's Eve. So you watch Russia-Sweden. Good game. Maybe 300 people there. Because no one is going to pay to not watch Canada or U.S. Unless you're...
But it wasn't that bad last time they did in Buffalo, was it?
No, but they've priced themselves out of the market. It's so expensive to go to a game. I bet it was $150 to go to that.
To see.
You're not putting up the best product. Junior hockey is great, but as the Swiss coach said, there are some teams that just don't have draft picks on that team, so they're not going to the NHL. So you should not be paying NHL prices to not see NHL hockey. Yeah. The Moose know what they are. There's players on the Moose that are better than the junior players. There's players on the Moose who are worse than the junior players, but it's $30 to go to a Moose game.
And it's best seats in the house.
Yeah, and it's $150 to go see a World Junior game. Why? And I know we talked about it last week, but it makes zero sense because you're taking away an opportunity. I just think you're pricing yourself out of your demographic, and I said it last week.
They take advantage of the fact that it only happens once a year, so you're going to pay money to go see it. When, wow, are you really going to pay $150 to see Belarus play the Czech Republic? No,
by no means. Whatsoever. It's not even.
I would pay upwards of $5 to go see that game.
Here we go. Here's the question.
But seriously,
now we talked about this last year when the Ottawa Senators made the playoffs and they were in the Eastern Conference Final against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were selling off tickets super cheap in the upper deck, last couple rows. Yeah. For 3 subs at Subway, it was how much? $25, which was
if you
also
bought 3 subs.
3 subs, 3 footlongs. That was the same price as the clearance seats they're selling to the Eastern Conference Final for Ottawa that they couldn't get people to sell. So would you rather buy 3 subs or go to Eastern Conference Final hockey? Now, obviously, all of us would probably say Eastern Conference Final, depending on the day you're having. But obviously, Ottawa was.
Sometimes they just need to shame eat 3 subs.
Those things just shouldn't be compared in the same sentence.
No.
It's like eating 2 pizzas to yourself, or going to watch Ottawa Senators, Pittsburgh Penguins, Eastern Conference Final. Yeah, which was a good series.
If the West Finals in Winnipeg, it's pretty much I can make my car payment or I can go to the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
yeah.
It's like, what do I do?
It's gonna be $450 to go sit nosebleeds, and you're like, this is money well spent.
You'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
And then there's
do I want to make my mortgage payment, or do I want to go?
I can put a 60-day delay on that. Let's go.
There's also the decision to not only the ticket price, you have to pay for either parking or get there. And you have to buy the $25 white playoff T-shirt, else you will be shunned from this city.
So the
lady wearing pink, I remember you forever. You remember that lady? A tax zone. What? Lady.
There's always that one person that has to wear fluorescent clothing that sits near the glass.
I want to do that this year.
I would be that person.
I want to do it this year. I want to as well. But I have to stop because I actually want to go see a playoff game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'll wear
I kid you not. I went to the last game of that series, game 4.
Yeah.
I saw someone walking around, Anaheim Ducks hat, but Winnipeg Jets whiteout T-shirt on. I was like, see? Even the Anaheim fan wants to wear the whiteout shirt.
Yeah. Because
he wants to be a part of it.
A hat, you can get away with it. Because it's you can mask a hat or someone could take it off. That's
he might have turned the shirt inside out, but hey, it's still white.
Okay, that's not so bad.
You just don't see the logo.
What was I going to say?
Playoffs. Western Conference Final. Make a payment on your home. Car payment.
Go to the game.
Go to the game.
Well, yeah, it'd be nice to go to the game.
I do want to go to. I want to go to playoff hockey.
Totally had a really good thought. And
wearing fluorescent.
We're just all over the place.
I want to wear fluorescent. Well, it's 2018. New
year, no plan.
New year, no plan. New year, new us. Always. I can't wait to see. I'm going to go on Instagram.
The amount of I just can't stand it.
What?
The new year, new me.
It happens every year.
I know.
Everybody will go hard for 28 days and then end of January.
Hey, I was talking to Cam about this on the way here. I completed my first resolution ever. No McDonald's in 2017, and I completed it.
At all.
Or Wendy's. Did not have Wendy's either.
Wow.
Not Wendy's either.
No Wendy's. But I did have Burger King, and I did have A&W. but I had Burger King once.
He had
once.
gross amounts of A&W and Burger King to make up for the no
yeah, he had
McDonald's.
to cover up.
I had one Whopper, and that was in December.
Okay.
And I had A&W last week.
Okay.
I couldn't make it the entire year. And then I
What
canceled.
brought you in at A&W?
I was at the outlet mall. A&W was there. It was lunchtime, and I wanted.
They have other options at the outlet
Dude, they
mall.
have
I know,
that,
but
that
like,
big
I-
smoked burger. Smells. Every time
I
I go in
had it
there, I'm
once.
like, oh, it smells good.
It was. I didn't want to pay $20 for my lunch.
Have you ever been to Chachi's sandwich place? Oh, it's good.
No, there was a huge lineup for it. I was like,
Good.
I have 5 minutes to get in and out. I need A&W or In-N-Out Burger.
Why did you go to the outlet mall if you had to be in and out in 5 minutes?
No, like in and out of getting food.
He had time.
I had
5
20
minutes left.
Ah.
because
Wait.
I had to go to Under.
Are you going to go back to McDonald's at all this year?
No, probably not.
Okay. And you're not going to go to... What would bring you in? What did you miss the most? What was the hardest thing? Like McDoubles?
Fries. They're French fries.
Their fries are good.
Their fries.
Honestly,
are
I have McDonald's like a couple times a year,
Yeah, that's fair.
but it's so good.
It is like
It makes you feel great after, too.
Oh, fantastic.
no, like it was maybe the first 2 months I was like, oh, I'm really craving it, and then it was fine for most of the summer, and then like the last month I'm like, oh, I could really go for some French fries or a McDouble.
And you made it that far, so you're like, no, I'm doing it.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
Well,
like,
if you make it that far, you might as well keep going.
well, and that's the way I feel, right? Like I used to be a Slurpee fiend. I haven't had a Slurpee since May. And now I'm like, well, I just want to see how long I can go because nothing, like I'm not being pulled to go in to drink them, and I thought that I couldn't do it. So I'm like, well, we're gonna see if I can go the entire year.
I don't know why, but whenever I eat fast food, like it's always pizza. Like I don't know why. Like,
Yeah, I gotta stop the
I
Little Caesars.
Like very rarely will I go and have a burger, but like it's always pizza. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's just so easy. You just pick up the phone, and you're like, bring me pizza. They bring you pizza. You eat it.
And then you pay the nice person to bring you pizza.
And
You're not paying for the pizza. You're
Yeah.
paying for that nice person to
Yeah.
come to your house to give you.
Like every now and then, I'll be like, I want a burger, and I'll go through the drive-through, but it's always pizza. I don't know why.
And because it could be minus 40 outside.
That's
like
true.
this past week, and you're like, I'm going to make some teenagers.
That's when you
drive
order
it
boneless
to me.
wings from Boston Pizza, and then you pay on a gift card, and you forget to tip the guy.
Oh
You
no!
monster!
You're the worst.
Whoa!
Jim Trevelyan
When it was like minus.
shames you.
It was one of those days when they're like, don't go outside unless you want to die.
Yeah,
It was one of those
And then
days.
you didn't even tip the guy or
Well, like,
lady or whoever it was.
He came, I gave him the gift card, and then he just kind of took it, and he like swiped it, and then he handed it back to me. He's like, hey, thanks. And I'm like, I don't tip you. And he just walked away. I'm like, oh.
Okay, so
no.
Anyways.
let's steer this back to hockey.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to start is to talk about that outdoor game between Canada and USA because it has people divided. And I think before the game even started, we said we didn't like it.
No, I did not like that
But
idea.
Why?
We'll
I
get
didn't
down.
watch the game. I just
Because
saw the highlights.
it's in a tournament. To give you the rundown, it's in a tournament where you have 4 games. Like, one of your round robin games is automatically outside, which we know, like, it's not going to be a skill based game. It's going to be shoot, puck, try, score.
That's true.
Like,
And,
that's all it is.
and the ice is going to be subpar now.
And you
I
hope the
understand
weather
the
is
argument.
decent.
Exactly. I understand the argument on both sides.
yeah, of course.
But
I enjoyed
one-
the spectacle, but
Exactly. Why don't you, if you want to do an outdoor game so badly, do it for a game that doesn't matter. Do a prelim game if that's what you want.
oh, that's a fantastic idea, actually.
Because
Yeah.
it's not going to hurt the tournament. You still get the spectacle of being outside, and you get to reap all the money in that a prelim game that normally doesn't bring in the money, you get, right?
Or even like a mini outdoor
But would people go
tournament.
to the prelim game because they'd probably price it pretty high?
No, I think they'd price it properly. I would hope at least that they'd price it properly. You got to think they would.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, it's a prelim game, $80-$90 a ticket
Yeah.
to go outside. And I would pay that.
That's fair.
And it's just a prelim game, Canada USA. I'd be fine with that because honestly, when you look at Canada USA, I would love if there was just a series every year where we're gonna do this Canada USA juniors for like they get their 8-game series. I wish they did that for Canada USA, and I wish that we could see more Canada USA because we see it a lot on the women's side, but like we only get the men at the World Cup now. We don't get the best on best at the Olympics anymore. I guess hockey champion, like world hockey, but even then you don't get the best players. So that,
But the hard thing about doing that would be because they're juniors,
yeah.
they have high school, they have college.
But they did the Super Series, 8 years ago? Between Canada and Russia, and they played those 8 games?
Well, they
Yeah,
do it
'cause
every year.
No, it was a Super Series where they had 8 games, and it was
And it
Canada,
was junior
Russia.
guys. Yeah.
So they had like the Team Canada juniors. There was a game played in Winnipeg here.
I feel like
It's
I
like
probably would have been there.
I was there. I got a jersey signed by all the
Yeah,
players.
no,
that were
that's
on
the
Team
same.
Canada.
That's a Subway Super
No,
Series.
it was not the Super Series because it was all
But
of
was
Team
that
Canada.
the first time they did it? Maybe.
No, it was all of Team Canada. It wasn't like WHL, QMJHL. It was.
They made the team.
It
and
was
did
the Team Canada team, yeah,
Oh, I
versus
didn't know
Russia, yeah.
Was it just
And
me?
they had 8 games.
Was it just me, or was this outdoor game not like advertised very well?
It wasn't advertised.
Because like
it was
honestly,
at a bad time.
I woke up because it happened. What it was on
Friday.
I
At 2
woke up.
o'clock.
I woke up Friday morning. I opened Twitter and they're like, "Oh, Canada U.S. outdoor game today." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Yeah,
Like I just like they didn't. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Like I haven't watched much of the juniors, but it just seemed like it wasn't marketed very well.
It wasn't.
Like the attendance looked like it was okay. Like it wasn't sold out or anything,
But overall, like it was poorly done. It didn't need to happen in a tournament that, and this is even if Canada had lost. I know it sounds or Canada had won because Canada lost in a shootout, and it's kind of like you just wonder what that spectacle could have been like inside.
It would have been awesome.
well, and,
Yeah.
that, and
Hopefully,
right,
we
like
get
you,
to see it again.
and like you said, that's potentially the only game they play against each other. It
Yeah.
might not be, but it might be.
I
And
hope it's. Not, I hope they play each other in this. Would be a final now.
Would be
this
the
one.
finals, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but USA would have to go through that really good Sweden team. But
Yep.
Sweden doesn't lose again in prelims, but we'll see.
That
what
marks the 12th year, by the way.
Yeah.
We looked. I looked
since,
into it,
Since 2006, they
Yep.
lost an OT game to USA 2-1.
and they still walked away with points.
Yeah.
Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't lost
Since
like
the States in
round
12 years?
robin in 12 years.
to this like period.
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 To any
Wow.
team.
Because think about it, they always get like
Oh,
they're-
that's
it's always
true.
going to be like Canada, U.S. are always usually in the same group. They try
Yeah.
and do it that way. Or it always ends up that way. So then they always get like, oh, Finland, Russia,
That's
and
true.
so not that those countries are
But
phenomenal.
Sweden had played Winnipeg had played Canada a couple times
Yep.
And they
on
did-
New Year's
and-
Eve
and
games, and
they
they win.
did win.
And they win those games.
Yeah. Oh, they're fantastic. They're
That's
just
true.
good. But then when it comes to playoffs, like not that they don't win often or anything like that, but they always run into like a juggernaut team of either Canada, whoever it is, whatever country it is.
But yeah, to go back to that USA game, that was obviously it was pissing snow. Which
I will
in the
tweet out a
first
picture that they tweeted out. It's like it almost looks like it's not real. Like how much snow is on the ground. Like
Well, it's just I know you can't control the weather, and this can happen. Happened last time there was an outdoor game in Buffalo. It just shows you how bad of a city
Just don't do it in
Buffalo
Buffalo.
is. Yeah.
Moral of the story: don't
What I
go
did-
to Buffalo.
so, I was watching the game, and then I went on Twitter.
What a
and
bad time to have it at too.
2 in the afternoon. Like
What-
why?
Why? You're like, let's do this. This is smart.
You couldn't
So-
start it at 7 o'clock. Like
Yeah.
it stopped snowing as the game was ending.
Well, I guess-
like, that's when it should have started.
They're probably banking that people are taking a week off, right? So
True.
people will
They-
be home to watch it.
Half the game was like there was a lot of people there, but for half the game, a lot of Canadians got stuck at the border, not because of the border issues, because there was a crash.
Oh,
like on the
really?
Canadian side,
So they
right
didn't see
before
a
the
lot of the
border.
game?
Yeah.
So they missed like probably 2/3 of the game.
Oh,
Like
that sucks.
it looked full by like at the end of the game, but like halfway through that game, like almost near the end of the second, like going into the intermission,
Was it
It was
where-
still like not a lot of people.
It was where
Well,
the Bills play.
yeah,
Yeah.
new airfield. And so that's what I was going to say. I saw someone tweet saying, like, oh, this is the first time new airfield in December is actually happy about a win. Because
Hey, the Bills made the playoffs.
They did. Hey, I mean, I'm fully on board for Bills Saints Super Bowl. I think I'm
you
in.
know what I'm fully on board for?
I can't wait.
The
to see,
Falcons steamrolling the Rams. Actually, that was. What
I
was
can't
gonna
wait to
mention.
see that Vikings Eagles NFC championship.
Oh, it's not
game.
going to happen because this is what's going to happen. Falcons
Falcons-
going to steamroll the Rams because no one's going to be able to go to the Rams game because parking's $100.
No, all the Falcons fans will be there.
Yeah. So Falcons are going
Philly
to
played both LA teams this year in LA, and there were more Philly fans at both games.
But that's also because LA was more of a LA was a team like a city that already had a team. Like
But they-
had a team. They didn't have a team, so all the fans like people move and migrate.
But they
So
played like the Rams and the Chargers, both
Yeah,
in LA.
it was
and
awesome.
At both games, there was more
There's
Eagles.
a lot of
fans.
people in LA, so they're going to steamroll the Rams.
They're going to steamroll the Rams,
Yeah.
so then they would get the Eagles,
Who-
and don't have Carson Wentz right now, so they're going to be like,
Hey,
well, fuck you guys.
their D
They're
is
gonna
good.
It doesn't matter. They have Matt
Eagles
Ryan.
are fantastic right now.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they sure looked pretty good yesterday.
They didn't play anybody.
They lost 6-0.
They played
Dallas.
their third-string quarterback.
You know, actually, it was hilarious. There was a really good tweet. They're like,
They played no starters, and they only lost by 6 points.
they're like QB
That's not so bad.
No.
QB comparison since Carson Wentz tore his ACL. Carson Wentz, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Dak Prescott, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And Dallas was
It's
on.
true. He actually did throw a touchdown after he blew his knee out.
Yeah.
And then he stopped playing.
He's like, probably shouldn't keep playing on this.
That really hurt.
Hey, you know what? It's just like 2013. I believe in Nick Foles.
Oh, God.
He's good enough that
St. Nick is coming to town.
their team is good enough that if he's even just half decent, they can still win.
Okay, wait.
I don't like their odds as much as when they had Carson Wentz.
Well, yeah, clearly
He was like, I'm
he
just
was
going to
an
throw 5 touchdowns a game and no picks.
He was
Fine.
an MVP candidate. Still is.
Did you see their point differential at like the halfway point? They're like plus 200 in their point differential.
That's nuts.
Okay, so they're going to steamroll the Rams. They're going to take advantage of an injured Eagles team.
Which could happen.
And then they're going to take out both Case Keenum and Teddy Two Gloves.
Good luck with that.
Is Teddy playing?
He's on the. He can play games, yeah. But Case is.
And then they'll go back to the Super Bowl, play against New England again as a 6 seed versus a 1 seed, and they'll avenge.
You know what? I'm actually excited for the playoffs this year because if you look at the teams that are in the playoffs, there's a lot of teams that aren't normally in the playoffs. Buffalo,
There was 8 teams.
Tennessee, Jacksonville.
8 teams that weren't in the playoffs.
Philly
last year
hasn't
that
been
are-
in it in a while. Pittsburgh hasn't been in it. They weren't in it last year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, fine. Since we're already on
There's
it.
lots of there's lots of
Super
different
Bowl,
teams this year.
Who's
Let's put that
playing
out.
who? Who's winning? Dan?
Super Bowl?
You can be biased. I'm being biased. You
gonna-
already know what I'm saying.
I'll say Philly. Who's in the other side? You know what? I'm gonna go bold. Philly, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's defense is
Their
really
D
good.
is so good.
They're
Okay.
young and good.
I'm kidding.
Greg?
Okay, no, sorry. I take
No,
it
you
back.
can do that.
No,
Who cares?
Philly.
Just not experienced enough for playoff football.
I'll go. You know what? I'll do it. I'll say Steelers, Eagles.
Nice.
Battle of Penn.
Okay. That'd be fantastic.
And the
That'd be
Eagles are
really
going to
fun.
win.
Well, yeah.
I have to pick my team.
Yeah, we
I have
already
to.
know it's your team. Go ahead. Great.
I'm gonna go Atlanta, New England.
For the
Rematch.
Avenge.
I want
The
it.
Avenge
I
Bowl.
want it so bad.
Okay. I'm going to go, obviously, Minnesota. They're going to be the first team to play at home and win at home. Minnesota
And Buffalo.
and Buffalo. Because if it's the Steelers or the Patriots, and my heart's going to blow out. I'm going to die. I can't handle that pressure.
You know what I realized?
What's that?
It might not line up. It might be a week apart.
Go.
Because if the Eagles and the Vikings are in the NFC Championship,
Yep.
it's going to be at the end of January. It's going to be in Philly.
That's Rumble
One
weekend.
of the Rumbles at the end of January in Philly.
Let's go to Philly. Let's do
No,
it.
I think it's a week off.
But I think it's the week before the Rumble.
Okay, Rumble's
yeah,
the
they would play.
28th.
They
Yeah.
play the week before the Rumble.
Damn.
I know.
So
I
if you
just
want
thought
to
of
take,
that. It's like,
if you want to take a week off, you could do Sunday, spend the entire week in Philly. I'm sure the Flyers play it at least once, and
The
then go to
Jets there?
Rumble after. Oh God!
They do play the Jets, but I don't think it's till
No, I
May
don't
or
think it's
March.
Till May.
Yeah, till
Weird.
May.
I never knew Eastern Conference teams would play
Yeah,
against each
yeah,
other.
and Western Conference. They're doing a weird thing
Yeah.
for playoffs this year.
But to kind of steer us back
Yeah, of course.
to the tournament, last night there was Russia-Sweden, which was the New Year's Eve game.
U.S.
It's New Year's Eve.
U.S.
I was
played
at-
earlier. Like, put the late game. Who made this tournament?
Well, it's in Buffalo. Clearly, they don't know how to do anything right in Buffalo.
Oh,
Including rebuilds.
before we leave football real quick, the reason I want the Bills to play, apart from easy pickings to the Vikings, I want to see someone go through a table when it's minus 40 outside.
Yeah.
I want Bills Mafia.
that is
I love
great.
Bills Mafia. Okay, go ahead.
I just think they've missed out on a lot of good opportunities to have a really good tournament. Why not still play Canada-USA? Because the fans are going to go. I understand bowl games and whatnot, but people who want to watch hockey are going to watch World Juniors that night because they've been doing it for years. Why are you preventing people from that opportunity? It just didn't make sense.
Back to the outdoor game. So the Rangers are winning 1-0. Andre Pavlik is not playing, and Buffalo is the home team.
What? This makes no sense. Are you sure?
Yes. They're the home team. And they're not playing it in Buffalo, yet the juniors play in Buffalo.
And they're in New York, and they're not playing. They're like, no. Citi Field belongs to the Islanders, and only the Islanders. What?
This makes no sense.
I
What is 2018?
I don't like it so far.
so
it's
far
really
it's
weird.
so far it's I don't know. Undecided.
But like, there's been no lead up to the Winter Classic in my mind. Like, it hasn't been hyped up because, let's be honest, Buffalo's pretty bad, and the Rangers aren't doing that well. Would be a great.
Well, they're doing okay, but
Yeah.
they're kind of.
It's
You know what
hard
I
to-
want to see?
They're not a team that you hear go Rangers. You go, oh yay! You're kind of like, oh.
I want to see a
Rangers.
Las Vegas Phoenix outdoor game. Let's do
in
it.
Russia.
Can they play?
No, in the desert.
Can they play roller hockey instead of ice hockey?
That'd be sweet. I bet there's like one or two guys grew up playing roller hockey that are really
That'd be
good because
sweet.
it's significantly different playing roller hockey
It
than
It
is
is.
different, yeah.
Like I'm way
I want
more
full
excited.
contact roller hockey.
I liked playing roller hockey when I played it, but it was difficult.
Except for the odd time you'll be playing and you'll go to stop and you'll forget that you're not on skates and you go to stop the normal way and you
Eat
almost
some
break
boards.
your ankles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you learn how to stop.
That happened
You
to
kind
me
of
a
learn
couple
how
times.
to. There's no like. You have to properly do a quick turn. There's no like stop and get back in the play. You got to do that. Like it's.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I miss playing roller hockey.
You
Actually,
should get back into it.
You know what I might
Do
I
it.
might.
New
I
year,
have-
new you.
New year, new you.
We've already started many things for Greg.
You
and
do you
is-
this year.
Yeah, you do you.
No
new
treats
year,
and
new
pizzas.
you. No treats.
No,
and
we're
pizzas?
owed some.
No way.
I'm pretty
Get
sure
out. You
Nathan
already- You currently owe us one. So
How many
get
points
out.
did-
What? For Matt Duchene got traded.
How many
Oh,
points
that's
does Nathan McKinnon have to get?
Oh, he's like 20
He's-
some odd away already.
He's
Like,
got 46.
Yeah.
points?
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, I owe a treats and pizza like next week.
How many does he have to get? 50?
54.
Oh, he's done.
Damn it. We're going to...
Cam's sitting there like ACL, ACL,
No,
ACL.
I don't want injuries, but I doubt. Just get sick. Get the flu real quick.
You know, it'd be just a quick ponder. What if a player's just like, yeah, randomly hurt in February, I can't report, and they're like in the Olympics. It's like,
Oh.
Did we make a treats on how many points Vegas would get? Because I think they already
The only Vegas ones we have for treats
'Cause I think they
is
already beat my
that they don't make
expectations.
playoffs. Like here, I'll open up the.
Oh, they're probably gonna make.
So if they
playoffs.
make the playoffs, we have to
no,
get
no,
a
like
treats in?
people against them. Here, these are the current treats as we have. Nathan McKinnon, 54 points. That's me.
That's going to happen.
Treats of pizza. Oh no. Greg, you actually are already on another treat.
Why?
How many points does Vegas have right now?
52?
Okay, it's down already. Episode 156. That was August 1st. Treats of pizza if Vegas hits 50 points.
They're over that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, wait, that's all of us. We all made that bet. It's all.
We have to
all,
split one?
We all have to split the cost. We already. Dang it. Okay. The other one is if Canucks are better than the Vegas Golden Knights, Greg owes us a treats of pizza, so that's not happening.
That's not
No.
happening.
If
I
Canucks,
called it, though.
Oh, when the Canucks hit 65 points, Greg owes a treats of pizza.
That could happen.
That's definitely happening. And then
Vegas is at 54.
Oh my god!
okay, so
Because
we-
Dan
we-
said they were only gonna get what 52 points this
And
year.
then I remember we're like, okay, let's make it easy. 25 points.
Hey,
They
I
can
was
do it.
right. They probably had 52 points in the calendar year.
Yeah. And then the only other one outstanding would be Dan treats a pizza when Line hits 50 goals, which is what it says.
He's at 18. I don't know if that's happening.
And then we have that Vesna one where Steve Mason.
Yeah, that's happening for sure.
We all
He's played,
basically
what,
have
7
to buy
games?
a jersey for each other.
You know what? They could win that that trophy for like best.
You know
save
what?
percentage.
I'm really glad I didn't make a bet with you that Connor Hellebuyck might win the Vezina, because I don't know. That might happen.
He's looking.
No,
good.
it was Steve
I know,
Mason.
I'm just saying I'm glad I didn't make Connor Hellebuyck bet.
Oh,
So-
and then I owe you a dilly bar if Matt Dumba makes the All-Star game. Because you
That's
want
not
Minnesota to burn.
So, just to touch on the juniors one last
Yes,
time
of
here.
course.
They
played
so
Denmark.
Prelim, yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Go.
kind of swept.
Oh, wait, we didn't wrap up how it actually... So it was raining, snowing sideways.
Yeah.
The delays, the commercial delays, normally they're like 2 minutes. They were like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they had to shovel
had to
the
get the shovels
entire...
out.
race. And they chose between the first intermission, or a second and third period to not flood. They scraped it.
Yeah.
Which is classic outdoor move because the reason for those, I don't know if you're listening to this and you're not a hockey fan, but when you flood,
You're putting new fresh water on.
Yeah.
When you scrape, you're just essentially
the
you're-
snow
you're-
would stick to the ice and
Yeah.
ruin it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it would do. So they chose to scrape it just to get the snow off.
Yeah, it would be a curling rink if they flooded.
And
That's why.
they were the second intermission, or no, yeah, the first two periods only took about just over 2 hours to play. The last period and overtime and shootout took 2 hours and like 40 minutes. Like it was longer to play the last period overtime in shootout
Because
than
of
it
all
did.
the delays?
Yeah, because it was snowing.
So
The
the
game started at 2:00.
That's why I
and
started
I
too.
worked until 6, and the game finished at like 5:45.
Yeah.
It was a 3-hour and 45-minute game.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But so
Crazy.
the game's played. Canada loses in a shootout. USA comes back from a 3-1 deficit and wins. Would have been nice to see that type of game inside, where it's most elite players at their age versus each other. Let's put a game outside for that reason. Made no sense to me.
You would have gotten a more accurate representation of how good the teams are. Right?
Yeah, but
I'm not
it's
saying that
phenomenal.
the teams aren't
Yeah.
good, but
like USA could have won the game 5-0. It was inside, but I guarantee you it would have been better hockey to watch. Regardless of that, one of the best tweets I saw was they were obviously mocking the game. So interviewer, TSN reporter, this is what the tweet was. Like TSN reporter goes to World Junior kid. Hey, so playing outside would bring you back to the memories of playing on a pond as a kid. And then the caption reads, kid who's been in elite training indoors since he was 5. Yeah, cool, good memories.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of these kids they might not have ever played outside. Because if you're playing top level hockey, you're not practicing outside. And especially nowadays, there's less practices outside than ever, even though it's free ice, because my kid might get frostbite at -20.
We stopped having outdoor practices when I was like 12.
Yeah, but no.
Just cuz.
Yeah, it's because kids wouldn't show up. But if you're playing elite hockey at a young age, you're pretty much never playing outside. So like this doesn't bring back memory, and they don't have time because they're in hockey camps, they're playing hockey. So some of these kids may have never played outside. I'm sure most of them have, but it's not like a memory for them. Like if I was a kid, if I was 18, one of the best hockey players in the world, and they go to me and they're like, yeah, that USA game that you've been watching for years on New Year's Eve, well, we're going to do that on the 29th of December and outside. I'd be like, fuck this. This is a memory I'm going to carry for the rest of my life, and it has to be outside at -17. Like,
Yeah.
Wearing a Bills football jersey.
those jerseys were terrible.
They're fantastic.
I
I liked them.
terrible.
I liked them.
No.
You're not.
Not
You're,
fun.
you're dropping too, eh?
Yeah.
Top or drop. You're dropping.
It didn't look good.
All right, that's fair. I didn't mind them. I wouldn't wear them a whole season. I like the aspect of the one game. That's like those Green Canada jerseys from years ago when they were in Saskatchewan. They're like, we got to bring the Riders into this, and you're like, can you stop it? Stop.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Those were terrible.
then-
So the rest of the tournament happens. Canada beats Denmark. They finished first in their pool. So USA finished second. Slovakia was third.
So who's
And
playing who now?
Finland was fourth. I think is how it worked out. I could be wrong on that. So Sweden finished first. I think Czech Republic finished second. And Russia finished third in their pool, I think. And Switzerland finished fourth. Which means Canada plays Switzerland. And have you seen this clip of the Swiss coach being asked? Like, so how do you prepare to play against Canada? Well, they're better than us. They're faster, they're stronger, they're bigger. And they're like, yeah, they have a few, first round picks, second round picks, and a fourth round pick on their team. We have one guy that's drafted. That's it. So what are you gonna tell your players? They're just bigger, faster, stronger than us. They're gonna beat us.
Basically, we have no chance.
No, and so they asked her, how are you going to prepare? And this is his reaction. Well, it's, they're better. And it's like, well, you're
Throw in
really
the towel.
motivating your team.
Throwing in the towel.
No, but what are you going to do? You're Switzerland. Like, you're not really...
You say that now. You remember 2010 Olympics when they almost beat Canada in the Olympics?
Or are you talking about Latvia?
No, Switzerland. Jonas Hillard.
Yeah, Jonas
shootout.
Miller with
Yeah.
when his shootout, and Crosby's
Jesus.
like, okay, Canada, I guess I'll help you out and spot you one. I was at Dan's house watching I remember
That was scary.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, that Latvia game was scary, too.
Oh, with Christos Gudlevskis.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did you see when who was it? Sweden was playing Denmark? Would that have happened? Who would have played Denmark?
Belarus. Oh, Denmark?
Yeah,
Would have been USA, Finland, or
Finland.
Slovakia.
That's who it
Canada
was.
played Denmark.
They beat them 4-1. The goalie for Denmark had 58 saves, and they lost 4-1. 58 saves. Because I remember...
It's just a casual 62 shot game.
Yeah, I was following, I follow a bunch of beat writers, and one of them was at that game, and he's like, pour one out for the homie, and he took a picture of the shots, and I'm like, 58 saves, and you lost? Woo! Woo! That's a lot of saves.
It's a tough one.
That is a rough night.
That's tough. That's his save percentage actually is pretty good.
Yeah. He wants to be the guy who choke slams someone through the table
Yes.
for Bill's Mafia.
Except it's so cold the table's frozen and they just break their spine.
Can fire exist when it's minus 40 outside?
We tested that yesterday.
And it worked?
And?
It worked. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Bill's
played,
Mafia, don't let me down at Super Bowl,
I
please.
played in
Flaming table.
a street hockey tournament yesterday, as we always do every New Year's Eve. And yeah,
Did
we
you
had
score a
fire
goal?
outside. Yeah. I scored
And
a
did
couple.
you sell it?
I did sell it.
What was your
What
celebration?
was your go-to?
I jumped in the snow and did an angel.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, I don't know which game this was, and I only saw the highlights well after the fact. Nikolai Ehlers scored a goal, and he was on the ground, he was on his back when he scored it. Pretty
And
much
do the snow angel.
missed opportunity. He did not do the snow angel. He got right back up, and I went, dude, you're right there. Just
thought
do
he did
the
it
snow
once.
angel. Did he? Because not the one I saw. The highlight specifically I'm talking about, I don't know who they were playing.
There was one game where he
on his
did
back.
an end-to-end rush and scored, and when he went, when he cut in, he kind of went over the goalie a little bit, and he landed on his stomach, and he scored. And he just did a Superman, and he stayed there for 10 seconds on the ice.
Because he was like, how much is this fine if I do this?
He's
It's
laying
not
there.
the NFL.
Yeah.
They don't
He's
get
laying there.
fined.
He's like, I'm gonna wait. Okay, we'll get up.
Is it cool now? Is it cool? Patrick, is it cool? It's never been cool, Nikolai.
So tournament's going to be wrapping up this week. Canada, Switzerland, and then if they win that, they play the winner of, I think it's Slovakia and Czech Republic, or Slovakia and Russia.
So
So
Canada should be
in
in
the gold medal,
game.
Sweden.
Yeah, it should be. Well, hopefully.
If they don't. What if Switzerland wins? I don't want to play this game.
I'm not playing that game.
Nope.
I'm not
Nope, they're
subscribing
doing
to
it.
that
They're winning.
idea.
Gold or bust.
Gold or bust.
So I'm excited to see the end of this tournament. Luckily, all the games are going to be played inside from now on. That's good. Because, what's going to happen in 2020 is probably, gold medal game's going to be outside now, guys, because
The
this
whole
is what we
tournament's
need.
outside.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to Winnipeg, where it could be minus 40, and play the game there.
Hey, you laugh now, but Winnipeg's the only Winter Classic that's been delayed because it was too nice out.
Yeah, this is true.
Kind of. Oh, yeah, right,
was
because
too
of
sunny.
the glare on the
Yeah.
ice.
It was too sunny. The ice was melting.
Yeah, because I remember it was supposed to start at 2, and I'm like, let's go!
Started at 4.
Yeah.
What a terrible scheduling.
You know what would be sweet, though, if they do the entire outdoor
You
game?
said doo-doo.
Oh. Wow, nice.
Yeah.
New year, new me. All right. If that outdoor tournament were to happen, all outdoor juniors, Slovenia is going to wreck house because I don't think there's an outdoor arena in Slovenia, so that's all they have over there.
Indoor arena, you mean.
Indoor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So Kazakhstan are one of those teams are just going
It's
to
gonna win.
crush because they're going to know they're going to master that just the snipe from in between the red and the blue. They're just going to
No, what you
rip it
need-
on.
what- you
Kazakhstan,
need to do-
they'll pull a loophole. They'll get Nick Antropov on their team
Yeah.
somehow.
I'm 19. You have a son that's 21 right now.
They'll
What
pull
are you
a
talking
they'll
about?
pull a bench warmers.
Yeah, just...
I'm 12.
I'm 12. But what they need to do, instead of building these state-of-the-art rinks, you need to just put wood and fencing. Then it's a real outdoor game.
Barbed wire along the edges.
Along the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, along the top. That's the only way to do it.
Sounds like
So move on, NHL-wise. Jets played Edmonton last night. And the first time since the Jets came back that they didn't have a New Year's Eve game at home.
No, it's
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
played in Arizona on New Year's Eve 2 years ago.
You're right, they did. I was holding on to that.
Who's this guy? What are you?
I was
I
holding
watched
on
a
to
few
that one.
games.
I was holding on to that one. I was like,
They also played the Islanders on Friday, and they won that game.
yeah, they did.
They did. They beat
4-2.
4-2. But they lost Brandon Tanev.
They did.
So
They called up
did-
Jack Russell.
They called him up. They took a Tanev injury to call Roslovic.
Hey.
Not Mark Scheifele.
Hey, you know what? I'm liking the trend because they called Sean Mathias up. First shift of his first game, scored. They called Marco Dano up. First shift of his first game, he scored.
Actually, both of them were healthy scratches.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They've been scratches.
Healthy
for
scratches
most
for 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, first game back, they scored.
First shift back, they both scored.
of yeah,
I saw the Mathias.
Different games, but they
Did
both
not
scored.
see Marco Dano.
yeah, he scored yesterday.
Scored first goal.
So yeah, that happened. The Jets clearly closed out 2017 strong. They don't
Not
look,
like Scheifele's shoulder.
no.
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 The opposite
No.
of Scheifele's shoulder.
It's very clear that this is a real team.
Mm-hmm.
They're a real contender. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the playoffs. Because it's going to take a catastrophic collapse for them not to be there, so let's start talking playoffs.
Well, I was reading bold predictions for
I've been a
2018.
fan before. I've seen.
Ooh.
I've never seen them fall this hard, but Thrashers, they've fallen hard a couple times.
Did you hear about last week? I missed it. Blake Wheeler assisted on Kyle Connor's goal in the second period. Officially, he isn't more now, but it was his 288th career assist as a Winnipeg Jets / Atlanta Thrasher, passing Ilya Kovalchuk for number 1 in most assists franchise.
And same game, Brian Little played his 710th game, which
Becoming
passed
number 1?
Chris Thorburn as the franchise leader for games played.
Oh, that's why they didn't sign Thorburn. Brian Little's like, hey,
Little's like,
don't.
hey.
That's pretty insane. I guess he's almost had, 9 years with the team.
He's going to be a
Yes.
lifer.
It's his 10th year.
With that new contract, he's a lifer. There's no way he's not.
But it's kind of cool to see that they're at the point now where, like, guys that, like, I know Wheeler and Little came with them, but Wheeler played 20 games with the Thrashers, and then he came to Winnipeg, really.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see guys
to break it.
Yeah, it's cool to see guys that, like, their guys breaking,
franchise record.
And for the longest time, I remember people said, "Oh, no one's it's going to take someone a long time to break Kovalchuk's goal record," but with Line A, I mean, he'll probably do it.
How many goals does Kovalchuk have?
Like 400 or something.
You know what's insane is that
How many years did he have 50 goals? There's so many.
They were the worst team in the Eastern Conference one year. He had 52 goals.
I'm
That's
thinking
all I'm
about
gonna
this,
say.
like the amount of talent that has been in the Atlanta Thrashers organization. They've had Ilya Kovalchuk, Danny Heatley,
Marian Gaborik
Marian
via
Gaborik.
trade.
Yeah,
No, Marian Hossa.
Marian Hossa. My
Via
bad.
trade.
Gaborik was in Minnesota.
Boris Valabeek. Never forget.
Rich Beverly. I mean, come on.
Oh, let's not start.
No, Rich
mentioning
Beverly
other
was
people.
fantastic. Yeah.
But
but
the quality of players they've been able to have a part of the organization is insane. Now you look at the new Atlanta Thrashers or the Winnipeg Jets. They have Patrick Laine, Blake Wheeler, Mark Shea, and it's like this franchise has had a lot of talent when you look through the years. So unlike the Arizona Coyote franchise, that really once it became Arizona, they haven't had a guy like Ilya Kovalchuk or Patrick Laine. Like I think Clayton Keller is going to be the poster boy for the Houston Coyotes.
Houston
Houston
Coyotes.
Hot Boys.
Ilya Kovalchuk had 328 goals with the Thrashers.
Okay. No,
That's
and I
attainable.
honestly I think it's time to move the team out of Arizona because, like I said, when I was there, they're not upgrading their arena and their jumbotron is,
It's bad.
oh yeah, it's tiny and it's like it looks like I was at the Joe Louis Arena a couple years ago. The Joe like that they at least like took out it still had the old like feel and look to it, which was really cool, but they obviously had an HD display. I don't think there was an HD display in this jumbotron. Well, I'm not being a snob, but it's 2017 when I was there. It's now 2018, but it was 2017 when I was there.
Well, they haven't
time to
removed
upgrade.
it since yesterday. So
Blake Wheeler could set another record this year if he keeps up the pace he's on right now. The most assists in a season was 69.
Nice.
He's got 35 right now, and they're about the halfway mark. So
Nice. So, kind of keep going with this. Clearly, I think the Jets' goal in 2018, I guess first half,
is to get an overtime goal in playoffs.
just
to
to get
win a game?
to obviously win a playoff game, but I think it's win around at this point.
Yeah,
And you look
like,
at
for sure.
the teams they'll probably be playing. They're going to be experienced. Like they could end up with an
St.
Anaheim.
Louis?
They could end up. I don't think so.
well, right now they would
Because
be
they could
playing.
finish. They could finish first in that division, and I honestly didn't believe that before. So they could be playing a wild card team, and one of those wild card teams could be LA or Anaheim. And I
think LA's in second right now.
yeah, but I'm just saying like they could fall,
Okay, well, right now,
and I wouldn't want to play Vegas because Vegas just I don't know what they're
Can
doing.
you have the
don't know
Vegas
what's going
flu
on.
for 2 weeks? I mean, does that happen?
actually, yeah. So right now the Jets are first in the Central.
So they would be hosting.
They would be playing Dallas. Vegas would be playing at.
I'd be okay with that.
They could beat Dallas.
dangerous game.
They could play. I
Jamie
think they're-
Ben dropping those sweet Smash Mouth lyrics in interviews. Get out of here.
Yeah,
have
but
you guys
that-
seen that?
No,
Yeah, but Dallas defensively still doesn't scare me.
No, I think the Jets would be able to beat Dallas.
I mean they just traded away defensive stalwart Oleksiak, and
Hey, you know what? They're better than they were defensively, but they don't scare me defensively.
No, I think they're trying to go the Montreal route and have terrible defense, but spend a lot of money on them.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, if you ask me right now, I think the Jets could beat anybody in the West.
Well,
in the playoffs.
Except for the Vegas Golden
No,
Knights.
they could beat Vegas.
I don't have full faith that they could beat. I think they could beat Vegas, but
I mean,
I would say the only team that I'd be worried about would be Nashville.
Them and Nashville would be.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you guys
They get
watched,
wins for sure.
I don't know if you guys watched the Jets Predators game from last week.
Yeah.
I think Jets won 5-4 or something, or 6-5 or something.
Yeah,
But
6-4.
if that's a playoff series, sign me up.
Yeah.
Because that
that'll
game
be
was
fun.
awesome.
Now, the thing is obviously you have to start talking playoffs, so you have to think, what are they going to do with trade deadline? And Cam and I had a thought of Rick Nash, bringing Rick Nash in, for a little bit more depth. And
Yep.
so the thought that I have, at least, is they don't need much. They need one or two players, and that's it. Even if that, like maybe another defenseman, just to shore up a little bit of depth. How much are you willing to give up to really go on a run this year? Like, you're a huge fan.
Well, I think their first round pick is definitely on the table.
Okay.
Why
No,
not?
no, no. I'm reacting like that's awesome.
But why not? Like why?
No, no.
Like why
Yeah.
wouldn't it be? Like if right now. Well, I mean, okay, sorry. They changed it now so that it goes based on how they get knocked out of the playoffs, right? Okay, so they're gonna get likely a middle to high, like to late round pick, right?
So between 10 and 20.
No, probably, I would say between 20 and 25.
So to me, that's on the table. To me, you don't really want to move too much. Like I don't think Trouba's on the table, regardless of if he hasn't signed a contract.
I don't
He's
think
been
you
so
can.
good for them this year. They aren't gonna he's been their shutdown guy. Like he's not putting up a lot of points, but he's shutting down the other team's best players and doing it well.
Or is it Josh Morrissey?
Well,
Yeah, like did you watch the Edmonton Oilers game?
Last
I've watched all three. Morrissey's
Sweet.
been on McDavid like shit on Velcro.
Yeah, but like, did
It's
you
great.
watch? You watched that too? Because I watched like
It's great.
half of the game where they're like, "Yeah, watch Jacob Trouba just shut him down," and they showed 3 clips. All 3 clips were Morrissey doing it.
Yeah.
And the guy's doing the broadcast. So I was like, "Yeah, so it appears to be Josh Morrissey," and
Yeah,
you're like,
I mean,
"Yeah,
so
it's
they-
Josh Morrissey."
I don't think you tinker too much with your lineup.
So okay, you got your first
you
round
don't want
and what?
Because it's tough. Because if you bring someone in, who do you
Yeah.
take out at this point, right?
No,
Like,
and I think
everyone's
you
playing
have
so
it there
well.
you have it there for the depth.
You know what? A team that I can see them targeting is Ottawa, because Ottawa's going to clear house.
Matt
No,
Duchene?
I'm thinking more maybe
Duchene?
Mike Hoffman, Derek Brassard, someone like that.
Get
Oh,
the
I would
piss
take-
out of
I
here,
would take
Mike
Derek Brassard.
Hoffman.
They're gonna-
He's like one of their best guys.
Zach Smith.
And he's on the trade block.
Yeah, but if you're not gonna you have to give up like something big to get
first
him.
round pick.
But
They're gonna
just
start
the
hoarding
first
them.
round for Mike Hoffman.
So give up some prospects. You don't need your first round.
Are we
pick.
gonna free pretend?
I don't know.
Hashtag free pretend.
We have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pretend.
It's been shown that you have to overpay at deadline to get something.
Okay.
So why not get?
Can we give...
I'm just saying, if you want my opinion, that's a team you go after. Another guy that popped into my head, I don't know if they'd move him, but Joe Thornton.
Well, we talked about that as well.
Joe Thornton signing
big-
with Toronto.
Yeah. Well, no, he's last
but the
year of his
Jets-
contract, so...
But the Jets get him just for a run, right? Like, he's a big centerman. He's a
been there.
veteran. He would add some toughness.
What a
and
storybook ending.
He could still play. I don't
Playing
know if
for
he
what?
would come to Winnipeg, but I mean, hey, if they're
What
first
about-
place, you never know.
What about targeting somebody in Florida?
Who, though?
Nick Bukestad. Cameron wants a Jets jersey.
But I feel like Florida's not a team that's just going to sell off one of those
Yeah.
guys. Like, the Jets would have to give up...
Don't they gotta have like somebody defensively, not Jason Demers?
I don't think they need anybody defensively. Like, I would get
Are
someone...
you talking about Aaron Ekblad?
No,
Are they gonna trade Aaron Ekblad?
Like, they need... Honestly, for the
no.
Jets...
It's not Peter Chiarelli's
What
team.
I would love to get to see them is get someone who can put the puck in the net, but that's got a little bit of toughness. Because I think they're still... They're talented.
need a guy who's
They're
playing
talented
playoff
enough to
hockey.
win, but they need a little bit of toughness. Because sometimes they get beat up a little bit, and
Because you got to be thinking, if you're gonna be competing with St. Louis and Nashville, those teams are gonna go out. They're gonna go get somebody at the deadline who's gonna slot in. I also said the other guy that I would love to see would be Eric Stahl, because he's got another year on his
is
contract.
Minnesota going to
Would they trade him? Exactly.
I guess if the Wild aren't in the playoffs, then who cares?
But
right?
I wouldn't. If I'm Winnipeg, I wouldn't want to give away a first round pick for that.
Well, no.
Because you're essentially just signing a deal with the devil where that guy's going to come back and haunt you for years.
But whoever they get, they don't have to sign, right?
I don't think we should look at Florida because I'm going down their list,
Oh,
and
no?
the only guy who I think has played playoff hockey, well, a lot of it, or not even that much of it, is Radim Verbata. Because like everyone else is like,
I would not want for bad.
I can see them targeting Ottawa just because Ottawa is gonna sell they pretty much said that everybody except for Carlson is basically
I know because
open
Carlson's
season.
going to Philadelphia in the offseason.
Yeah, so
No, Carlson's going to Toronto. Like
Well, either
everyone
way,
else.
Ottawa's
Like
gonna
Jonathan
sell
Tavares.
Oh,
Like
to
Drew
Toronto?
Doughty. Yeah, all those guys, they're all going to Toronto.
Yeah.
The
I
same
will-
way that they're going to...
I'll take Nylander off your hands
No.
if you can't afford him.
No.
So who would you? So Ottawa, you're saying Hoffman?
or Broussard, why not? Adds
That's
a
Hoffman
you're
would
going to
be
give up
nuts.
quite
it,
a haul.
it makes
to
your.
get those
I
guys.
mean, the only tough part with those guys is they're signed beyond the year, so they wouldn't be rentals. They'd be. That might put them in a bind at the end of the year.
They've got a lot of cap room.
Honestly, though, I don't know if someone would take them right now. But I think there's a chance they trade Steve Mason and bring up Michael Hutchinson. Because
who the piss is going to trade for a goalie who puts up 5 spots?
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they'd be able to dump him, but he's making $4 million this year and next year. He's not playing, and Connor Hellebuck needs a new contract at the end of the year, and he's going to make big money at the end of the year now.
So we're thinking...
And Hutchinson's the best goalie in the AHL right now.
I love his interviews. He doesn't talk.
He doesn't want to talk.
He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't want to
So,
be there.
I don't know. Like, and that could happen at the end of the year, maybe too. But I don't know because I mean, and it's nothing against Mason. Like it's just you can't take Hellebuck out with how he's playing, right?
So you trade him to Buffalo for Evander Kane
There we go.
and bring Evander Kane back.
Bring him back.
For the run. Do it.
Well, I'm just
God, I would love to see that. Like what a whirlwind.
What a wonderful world.
Or you know what, Evander Kane's going to be traded for by Nashville, and Nashville will now have that scoring left winger that they need.
If history has shown anything, though, like Chevy will do something because the year they made the playoffs, he made the Kane
Talusti and
Stepniak, and he made the trade for Tyler Myers and Drew Stafford.
I want Stepniak back.
He was good.
I want at least
Out of your
Stepniak.
mind?
Not now,
I
but
love
What are you out of
him.
your mind?
He's good.
but it's just I don't know. You're gonna have to see which teams kind of fall out and which teams.
Yeah.
Another guy that I thought about. I don't know what the price would be for this guy, but Anthony Duclair from the Coyotes because he's
on the block.
because he was struggling and
He's a good young guy.
he might fit in well with the Jets.
Yeah, he could do.
Steve Mason would look great as a
Coyote,
Coyote.
there you go.
Like that'll ever happen.
But actually, the Rick Nash because he's a free agent, right?
Yeah, he's a free agent,
that's interesting.
And I don't know if New York's going to make playoffs.
Nah, they're kind
So-
of
How dare you? How dare you besmirch the terrible name of the New York Rangers? How dare you?
I don't know. I mean, they're
Well,
going
his
to add
contract-
something.
They had it.
They had it?
Yeah, 54 years.
Isn't it the...
Well, no, they have the record in the NHL of the longest cup drought of 54
What's
years.
Toronto sitting at right now?
51. Same with
Oh, they're
St.
gonna-
Louis and Vancouver. Like, the funny thing is, everyone talks about Toronto,
St.
1967.
Louis is also in there.
Vancouver's also in there. Like, there's a few teams that came in 67
Yeah.
that have never won.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's...
It's just easy to make fun of the Leafs because they get dangled in front of everyone's face so much.
Well, California Golden Seals aren't a team anymore. Philly's got one. Pittsburgh has quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Philly's got two.
the
Pittsburgh
Kings
has...
have two.
Have
Kings
four.
have 4. No, 3.
Two. Cops, they have two.
2, my bad.
Kings have 2 cups.
Yeah.
Either
Sorry, I
way.
thought we were trying to...
But yeah, no, like
super
50, 51 years.
Yeah.
But the Rangers were 54. They won in 1940 and then in 1994. 54 years.
Okay, so I'm going to read, for 2017, there's 5 things, I was reading an article, what had the bigger impact to you? Okay, 1, NHL announcing they weren't going to the Olympics. I'm going to name all of them, then I'll ask you guys. Not going to the Olympics, the Vegas expansion, U.S. women's equality, how they held out until they got paid more, Matt Duchene storylines about he finally got traded, or the Flames arena. What to you had a bigger impact on hockey? Dan, I'll go first.
Bigger impact on hockey?
Like, what was the bigger story in hockey in 2017? Because those are the ones that were the biggest, like, not just in Canada or in Winnipeg. Overall, everyone is talking about them, except the Flames arena.
To
I
me,
don't know
Vegas, I mean, come on, they're 2 points out of being the best team in the NHL. The halfway mark.
They're not messing around.
Like it's like Greg said with the Jets. Like they're gonna have to go on a massive collapse to not make the playoffs.
Oh, they're making playoffs.
And at this point, like, do you throw the World Cup contender? Like, I don't know. Whoa. I'm hesitant to do that, but I mean,
okay.
What do you do? I mean,
no, that's
because nobody saw this coming. Because like, all I remember is the days leading up to the expansion draft, all these mock expansion teams, and then you're like, oh, like they're gonna be okay, but they're not gonna be great. And then the draft happens, and then you're like, what the hell was that? Like, they could have taken way better players than they did.
And then we find out later, you're like, oh, they were drafting to make a team.
So then you're like, okay, so they're going to be even worse than we thought, and now they're the best team in the Western Conference.
We all owe a treats at pizza right now, and it's halfway through the season because of Vegas.
Now, I question how long they can keep it going, but I've questioned that all year, and they keep doing it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so Vegas is your answer? Great.
To me, that's the biggest.
Like, I think if you're talking NHL-wise, it'd be Vegas, but it's obviously Olympic. Vegas just because of the fact, like, NHL-wise, because they expanded to 31 teams. I was against it because I didn't think it would work in a traditional non-hockey market, but clearly the locals have...
You went there and enjoyed it.
Yes, the locals have embraced it. They love it.
Are they selling...
They're selling out.
They aren't selling out every game, but they're close,
yeah.
I think, right?
The other thing, too, is, like... They had a practice on a Saturday. It was like December 15th, I think, or December 16th. So a shopping Saturday. They had a practice, and there was like 3,500 people at the practice. Like,
because it was open practice.
Yeah, open practice.
Wow.
They had
Can you imagine if the Jets play the Knights in the playoffs? How crazy those games would be in Vegas.
I would go.
Because there'd be a lot of... there was probably almost 5,000 Winnipeggers at the game.
Greg sent the Snapchats. It was just Jets fans moved to Vegas for a night.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I would sell a limb to go.
And I haven't watched any Vegas games really, so I can't say how many Leafs fans were there yesterday.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Because I don't know if that's a trend, but to me, because
it's not...
Winnipeg's one of those teams where fans just go.
Well, so, there's so many snowbirds,
and that's true too.
From Winnipeg, because we are so cold here that a lot of retirees are like, well, I'll just go to. They have houses in Arizona, so they go there. But biggest story is obviously the Olympics. Like the NHL players not going to Olympics because it was such a big deal beforehand. Of '98 was the first year they went. Then 2002 happened. Canada wins gold. 2006, it's been such a big storyline, especially with the upcoming next generation of players. This year's Team Canada team would have been a much different looking team because you would have to have Connor McDavid on it.
Mark Scheifele most likely.
Mark Scheifele, well, he's injured now, so he wouldn't have been
on
the team.
Right.
But you would have had Steven Stamkos on that team. It would have been the storylines that would come out of the Olympics this year, because especially leading up to it, and that's the most disappointing thing, is we're not getting any lead up to it. Is it would have been great to see. Matthews versus Matthews and Team USA. If granted he would have made it, but could you imagine Austin Matthews on a line with Phil Kessel? Just think about that for a second.
That's the world I want to live in.
I want to live in that world.
Yeah. You
know what? We're not going to get that because we can't have nice things.
Or you could also have a line.
Austin Matthews, Blake Wheeler, and Phil Kessel.
Oh, no!
Just make
that's
it.
That's their top line.
That's
their
top line.
Right?
Yeah,
there's no one better on that team. Maybe
well,
Jack Eichel.
Brocky Besser's up there.
Yeah.
Jack Eichel, Brock Bestman, and another winger, American winger.
Justin
Abdelkader. There we go.
Patrick Kane even exists.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Patrick Kane.
Eichel.
No.
Kane, Matthews,
Kessel.
That's scary.
I want that. I want that for Christmas, but I'm not going to get it.
Christmas has come and gone.
But I just think what it would have been able to bring, storyline-wise, it would have been a really good Olympics for it. I think part of it also has to do with it being in Pyongyang, and I don't think that they were very comfortable with having it in South Korea, considering the fact you have a lunatic in North Korea. So, yeah, just because I think that a lot of people wanted to play for that, and they want to be there for it, but it's unfortunate, obviously. And then I think just the Olympics in general, the fact that the NHL happened, and then what happened with the KHL and the Olympics at the same time, kind of...
There's a lot of issues. Okay, now we're in 2018. Bold prediction.
Okay.
You get a one bold prediction.
Bold prediction.
Bold prediction, and I read an article. The same gentleman who wrote that other article. Forget who it was. He said one of his 5 bold predictions was Toronto Maple Leafs it can't be both. Toronto Maple Leafs or Winnipeg Jets. Those are the 2 teams which most people believe
Oh, they said
that
one of them was
will
going to
win
win the
the
Stanley
cups.
Cup this year. Yeah.
Win the cups, all of them. But
No.
okay,
Toronto's not there yet.
your bold prediction, Dan.
I'm going to go bold.
I'm going to stick to my bold prediction of at the start of the year, New Year, same me.
Yeah.
Philadelphia squeaks into the playoffs.
Is that bold, though?
No, with the second round, with the second wild card,
Yeah.
and wins to advance to the second round. They're going to knock out a juggernaut in the East.
You mean Tampa Bay?
It's not going to be Tampa Bay. Please don't.
Maybe I'll go.
Oh, wait, if it's second wild card, damn
Eventually,
it.
yeah.
It's Tampa Bay. They're knocking out
Okay,
Tampa
well,
Bay. They're doing it. They're going to grind it out.
I'm going to have a 2-part bolder here.
Go.
It's the same thing, but 2 parts.
Okay.
So Blake Wheeler's finally going to make the All-Star game.
I think we're getting that.
With Scheifele gone now, I'm pretty confident, because otherwise I feel like Scheifele
Dude,
would
if
go.
they send Buff again, Dan's flying there.
He hasn't scored a
I
goal.
know that's crap. Okay.
So he finally makes the All-Star game,
Okay.
wins the scoring title. He's 11 points behind Kucherov,
Only 11.
but he's 9th in the league in scoring. He's going to turn it on with no Scheifele, and if they're in the playoffs, he's going to start putting points up again. I'm saying it. He's going to
Okay.
win the scoring title.
Okay.
It's bold. I'm
That's
going
fine.
bold.
My bold is also at home base here. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna go safe bold. I'm actually gonna have a
It's
2-part.
called bold.
I'm gonna have a 2-part bold.
Safe bold.
I'm covering my bases.
Okay, go.
There is going to be either an expansion team announcement of either Seattle or Houston.
Because they are running that in Seattle right now.
Well, I feel like Seattle is probably the safest.
Well, they're already running like.
Or
season ticket
we're going to
prices.
get a relocation to one of those 2 cities, and still not Quebec.
By who?
I'm thinking Arizona, just because they're not making money. They're hurting the NHL. They're hurting the product.
And it's making it
like,
look bad.
It is.
How
It
is their
is.
attendance
They're not
this
even
year?
at-
I haven't even followed them.
They're not even at. Oof, their attendance are probably awful.
Like 5.
Well, I'll use the example of my great aunt and uncle are snowbirds, and they live like down there. When they want to go to games, what they do in like their retirement complex is they rent a bus, they all drive to Walmart, and buy a 12-pack of Coca-Cola. And when you buy a 12-pack of Coca-Cola, you get buy one ticket, get one free. It's with the Coca-Cola. So they all go there, buy out the stock of Coca-Cola, and then they all cut them out on the way to the game. They all cut out the coupon and present it at the ticket office.
So actually,
That's what they're doing, and
the
they're still
Coyotes
not
are
selling
actually
it.
averaging 13,000 people so far this year.
Yeah, they're all the
That's
snowbirds.
Probably a lie.
Carolina.
No, they're averaging. That doesn't mean they sold those
No.
tickets.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
buy one get one. That's half the
Carolina
people.
and New York are actually behind them.
Islanders.
Islanders are averaging 11,000.
That arena
What?
only holds like.
Carolina's
13,
averaging
13.
Well, yeah, because Winnipeg's 25th,
Okay.
but they're selling out every game.
Yeah,
so.
Carolina is what? Sorry.
12,524.
Okay, so you think relocation? That is your.
A relocation or expansion, yeah.
I want the Houston Hot Boys, and I will in fact buy a half.
Vegas is averaging
Seattle Golden Seals.
17,838.
Well, no, that's a different conversation for another day. All right, closing words, gentlemen.
Well, we have another year of podcast.
We're here. We may not. But this year, fingers crossed, it'll be a year where we actually, because we started the podcast the year after the Jets made the playoffs, did we not?
No,
No, you're the year of.
the year
The
of.
year of.
Yeah.
Well,
We
maybe,
were the good luck charm.
maybe, just maybe, we'll get to talk about a playoff win this year.
No.
Hopefully, we all get to go to a game too.
No, I want to. Well, I'll be able to talk about playoff wins because Toronto's going to win at least one game in the playoffs.
Well, Fly Guys are scraping and clawing away
They're
to
not
get their
gonna
asses
make it.
handed to them. They're not going to make it?
They're not.
How
Gonna
dare you?
Yeah.
No, they're making it just because you said that now. Nothing else.
So if I told you,
Go.
never mind. I was gonna make a nice big bold point, but it doesn't work anymore.
Why doesn't it work?
I was just gonna say, if I told you at the roughly the halfway point that the division leaders were Tampa Bay, New Jersey, Winnipeg, and Vegas, would you believe me?
I would have not believed you, and I
But-
would have made a terrible treats of pizza
But
bet.
Jersey actually is a point behind Washington, so
That
Washington's
still counts.
now 1st.
We'll do Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey's blowing everyone out of the water. Yeah. All right, great.
Such
Take
a
it.
surprise. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to get in contact with the show, you can check us out on Twitter at LastMinutePC, or if you want to get in touch with the show, email us at lastminutepc@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube, Last Minute Podcast, so you find us there. Leave us a comment. leave a subscription. Or you can go and find us on Podomac, take us on the go, and just look up Last Minute Podcast on any podcast app, because we are there. Oh, wait. 2018 resolution for podcast? A logo.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
actually.
Pictures.
Yeah, well, picture and logo. Like, I get something that's not Podomatic, or
We
a
should
picture...
get those Wrong with Confidence shirts.
Or a
made.
picture from like the second year of the Jets where Ole Jokinen was on it around the circle. We're gonna fix it. That's actually we've talked about like, oh, we should do Christmas pictures. We should do this. We should do that. No, we're doing that this year for sure.
Yeah.
We got to get something. We could look into T-shirts. I don't know if you're interested in T-shirts and you made it this far. Let us know if you'd actually buy like a Last Minute Podcast and like Wrong with Confidence on the back, or like
Wrong with Confidence on the front with our logo on the back.
on the back. That's a good one. Yeah, Wrong with Confidence.
I'd
there
buy
you go.
one.
Well, yeah.
I'm paying.
Yeah.
I'd be paying for the shirts to get paid.
Yeah,
but
I guess we got to do that. All right, see you later, guys.